Okay, let's take a look at the zero exponent rule. It says that any base raised to an exponent of 0 has a value of 1. Let's go ahead and write that rule. X to the 0 power has a value of 1. So anything raised to the 0 power would equal 1. Let's do some example. If I have 2 to the 0 power, according to the rule, it should equal 1. I just want to break this down for you just to show you how we derive at that one. So let's break it down. So 2 to the third power, multiply that out, 2 times 2 times 2, so that will give me 8. 2 to the second power, that will give me 4. 2 to the 1 power would give me 2. Do you notice a pattern that's going on? If you say dividing, yes, I am dividing, and I'm dividing each number here by 2. Which is my base. So if you notice this pattern right here, 8 divide 2 would leave me with 4. 4 divide 2 would leave me with 2. 2 divide 2 should leave me with 1. And if I continue my pattern on the other side, 2 to the 0 power equal 1. Hope that makes sense to you. Okay, let's apply some more zero exponent rules. I have 7, 8 to the third, b to the negative 1, and all of this is being raised to the 0 power. According to the rule, what would that equal? 1. Let's take a look at another example. 8 to the 0 power, according to the rule, 1. Okay, let's look at one more. I have negative 9x is being raised to the 0 power. All right, I want you to be a little careful with this one right here. 9x is what's being raised to the 0th power. Does not include my negative. Okay, so keep my negative. Anything to the 0 power is 1. So my answer should be negative 1. Now, on the other hand, if my negative was inside of my parenthesis, that means that would include my base. And everything in my base raised to my power 0, my answer would be 1. But my negative is outside, so I have to keep my negative. Hope that makes sense. Remember, you can always stop, rewind, and review as many times as you like. Let's take a look at the negative exponent rule. It says here, powers with a negative exponent can be written as a fraction with a positive exponent. So let's write that rule down. So I have x to negative m, and it says you're going to take that negative exponent and write it as a positive exponent. How do we do that? It says make it a fraction. So how do you make something a fraction? You just simply put it over 1. And all I have to do right here is just do the reciprocal or just flip. So making it a fraction, 1 x to the m power, and my exponent become positive. Hope that makes sense. Now let's go ahead and apply that to see what it's going to look like for us. X to the negative third power. They always say you never want to have a negative exponent. Okay, so when we have a negative exponent, we simply make it a fraction by doing the reciprocal. So we make that number a fraction, and then we simply do the reciprocal. We flip. Put the 1 on top, my x to the third to the bottom, and it's positive. Hope that makes sense. Let's try one more. 4 to the negative 2 power. So what we do, how do we write that positive? Make that a fraction, and we simply do the reciprocal. We flip. 1 goes on top, 4 to the second power becomes positive. Hope that makes sense. Okay, let's apply the negative exponent rule. Let's take a look at this example right here. I have 7 to the negative 2 power. Remember, our goal is to never have, this is a no, no, nay, nay. We do not want to have a negative exponent. So what we do, we are going to make it a fraction. I simply put it over 1. And then we are going to do the reciprocal, a simple flip, meaning that my 1 is going to go on top, and my 7 to the second power is going to the bottom. Now it's positive. Let's simplify that out. Remember, what that simply means is 7 times 7. Okay, so our final answer here would give us 1 over 49. Hope that's making sense to you right now. Let's take a look at the second example. What if I give you 1 and x to the negative 5th power? What do you think? You're probably saying, it's already in fraction form. What do I do? You do the same as you've been doing. You apply the rule. So that means we are going to do the reciprocal, because remember, our goal is to never have a negative exponent, whether it's to the top or to the bottom. So we're just going to do the reciprocal, do the flip. So my x to the 5th goes to the top, becomes positive, and my 1 goes to the bottom, which we can simply write out as x to the 5th power. Hope that's making sense. Remember, you can always pause, rewind as much as you like to get a better understanding.